And at the old Liberty High School, there's shots fired. Please come here quick.
On May 2nd, a pretty disturbing video surfaced on TikTok. In it, a guy named Marcello admits to hurting his brother during a fight. Apparently, the whole thing started because his brother accused him of being vegan. His TikTok account has since been banned, but at the time, people in the comments thought the video had to be some kind of messed up joke. Turns out, it wasn't. But here's a clip from Marcello's confession. It's unsettling. As police close in, he starts getting more and more agitated.
I'm cold. Go away and try to shower and jack off. My brother just tried framing me again, so I got him. Yeah, good times. He took out his phone, tried framing me for being a vegan again. Says, yeah, you're a Satanist, a devil worshiper, all this and that, called the cops on me like a bitch. So I shot him. Anyways, he has a criminal conviction, has fled Ecuador for being a rapist. You know, does drugs, laundering, everything, I guess. Doesn't have a license here, but somehow still calls the cops because they want to bang whoever I'm also. Alright, so this is my brother trying to get me killed. He called the cops on me because he's trying to frame me again, just for being a vegan. What he did was he fled Ecuador for a problem in the clinic. He fled for he doesn't have a license. He tries using my license abroad, and then he tries framing me just to get me in trouble. He uses fear-mongering tactics, and I guess right now I'm probably gonna die because he lied again. So yeah, that's my brother for you.
Luckily, in the end, he gave himself up peacefully. But it's pretty clear that he's dealing with some serious mental health issues. Most of his old videos, which have now been taken down, were bizarre, mainly focusing on, well, his bowel movements. What's crazy is that this particular video wasn't removed right away. It started spreading fast. Now, I never personally saw it pop up on my For You page, but based on the comments, I can only imagine how shocked people were. Either way, this will probably go down as one of the most disturbing things ever uploaded to TikTok. On October 1st, 2017, a 64-year-old man opened fire from the 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. The shooting lasted about 10 minutes. He fired over 1,000 rounds into the crowd at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. 60 people lost their lives. More than 850 were hurt. After this heartbreaking event, a woman came forward and spoke to the news about something creepy that happened to her before the shooting even started. You can see she's clearly shaken in the interview. Check it out.
Yeah, so there was a lady who pushed her way forward into the concert venue into the first row, and she started messing with another lady and told us that we were all gonna die tonight.
Do you know why she was saying that? I mean, was this after the shots were fired, or?
It was about 45 minutes before the shots were actually fired, but then she was escorted out by security.
How does that make you feel? I mean,
it makes me feel uncomfortable, especially coming here for my 21st birthday and not knowing if I'm safe, not even knowing if I'm safe going home tomorrow on an airplane, so.
The woman being interviewed is named Brianna Hendricks. She described the person she saw, but that person was never identified. Since then, the hotel has done major renovations. They renumbered the floors, and the room where the shooter stayed has been completely sealed off. As for the man responsible, he lived a pretty private life. No serious criminal background, and he never left behind a clear motive. There's a lot more to this story that I could go into, but honestly, it would need a whole separate video. If you want to hear more, let me know in the comments. And as always, I'm curious what you think. Now let's talk about something a little different. Shiloh Hill is a regular on the dark web, and his content usually focuses on tips and tricks for navigating it. But on this particular day, he came across something way out of the ordinary. It started when he stumbled on a dark web marketplace selling shoes, but it wasn't like any normal shoe shop. Each listing had a name, an age, and a price next to the shoe. The site was called The Shoe Man, Keeper of Souls. Just so you know, the dark web doesn't have search engines like Google. It's basically like walking through a city in total darkness. Still, Shiloh knows his way around. He ended up finding a pair of shoes in his size and ordered them. They were labeled Waylon, age 29, size 13, and they appeared to be covered in what looked like blood. Shiloh says he thinks it's probably a scam, but the theories in the comments were wild. What made things even weirder was that the listing included a rental time frame. Some people believe he was sent a snuff film. Others think the items could be taken from people who've died. But it doesn't end there. He actually got the package. He's now testing the red substance on the boots. But the wildest part? When he flipped one of the boots over, he found a VHS tape hidden inside. As of now, he's trying to get his hands on a VCR so he can see what's on the tape. In June 2024, a group of ghost hunters went to explore the abandoned Old Liberty High School in Ohio. While they were filming, they started hearing gunshots. Jake and his friend were the only ones there, but they were on opposite sides of the building. They called out to each other and eventually found a safe spot to call the police. But things took an even stranger turn. Locals believe the school is haunted, and even the police had a paranormal experience that night.
And at the Old Liberty High School, there's shots fired. Please come here quick.
Boys, stick it.
Thank you all.
Yep.
We go over here.
You guys armed at all?
No, we have nothing.
Are you the callers?
Yes, yeah, we are.
So what happened?
Well, we're
Back here.
in here filming a ghost video of all things, and I was kind of standing down here in the cellar, and it sounded like it had to have been like in this parking lot, just like 7 shots. So I ran up to him where he was up in the gymnasium, and we just heard like rattling on the door, and that's when we were like, yeah, we should probably call. The gunshots were all here. The rattling on the door and the footsteps were in the gymnasium, which is right over here.
Sheriff's Office, if you're in here, make yourself known.
There's nobody in there, but there's something in there.
Are you serious? For real?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like, what?
Let me just.
For real?
So right there on the second floor,
Yes.
we were looking this way. I heard pitter patter, like that, along that. What would that be? The east wall.
Yeah.
And then he hears it at the end of the hallway. And as I'm taking my light down, I see something go like dark across.
Are you guys dead ass?
Swear.
You have
And then
body
we were
cam?
like, no.
But we were talking about
Dude.
you guys. We were like, let's just black out for a second. So we went completely black in there, and all of a sudden we heard movement behind us, and we just ran
For real?
because there's nobody in there.
Okay. Dude. No,
I watch this stuff on YouTube.
do you
The
guys?
Estes method and all that stuff.
Dude, that's what we do.
I figured
We have a
because I
we have
saw
a
the
channel.
chair,
Yeah, we have a channel. Yeah.
What channel are you guys?
Spirit Stalkers.
Spirit Stalkers.
Yep.
I'll watch it. I've never seen anything like that before. No. That's actually scared me. Good luck.
Damn. All right. Well, Great.
So if you guys need anything else or hear anything else,
Yeah.
preferably if it's a human being, let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
After that, Jake and his partner packed up their gear and got out fast. Not long after posting the footage, someone commented saying her husband was one of the deputies who responded. She said he still talks about that night and how creeped out he was. Definitely check out the full video on their channel. I'll tag it below. Let me know what you think in the comments. On May 28th of this year, just off the southeastern coast of Europe, 19-year-old Serbian model Tijana Radonjic was involved in a tragic parasailing accident, falling more than 150 feet. But surprisingly, it wasn't caused by any kind of equipment malfunction or operator error. The fall only happened after Tijana herself unbuckled and released her safety gear mid-flight. Witnesses say they heard her yelling, "Put me down," but sadly, by the time anyone could react, it was too late. Her family insists she would never do something to hurt herself, and here's a clip from that day. Right after she undoes her harness, she flips forward and falls, leaving everyone below stunned by what they'd just seen. According to the company, she was there to shoot promotional photos and had been fully briefed and trained before takeoff. They also say she seemed happy and excited just prior to the flight. All of this has led many to believe that what happened may have been triggered by a panic attack or something known as the Call of the Void. If you've never heard of that, Call of the Void is a strange but recognized mental phenomenon. It's that sudden, split-second urge to do something dangerous, like jumping from a great height or swerving off the road, even if you have absolutely no real desire to act on it. Studies suggest that anywhere from 30 to 60% of people experience this fleeting impulse at some point. The leading theory is that it's the brain misinterpreting safety signals, basically simulating worst-case scenarios when you're near danger. Of course, that's just one possible explanation. In Tijana's case, it was more likely a severe panic response. Either way, it's a heartbreaking incident and honestly, just another reason to think twice before going parasailing. On May 13th, a TikToker named Melody noticed she'd missed a call from a number she didn't recognize. She'd been asleep at the time, so she didn't realize they'd left a voicemail. But when she finally listened to it, she was terrified.
Okay, this might be nothing, but the timing is just not it. It was my birthday, right? And I got these flowers. Boom. They're dying. I know. That's not weird because it's me, okay? They die. No note. So, and I figured, you know, when it's my birthday, someone's gonna call or text me and be like, "Happy birthday, did you like my flowers?" That didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, hold on, my dogs are freaking out.
It mentioned her by name and included the chilling line, "It will not stop. Take a listen." Now, you probably missed this detail the first time, but as she bends down to pick up a bouquet of flowers, there's a figure standing in the doorway. Her followers noticed it right away and started sending her screenshots from the video. What you're about to see is one of those still frames. At first, I thought maybe someone was just messing with her. Maybe it was a prank by a viewer. In this next clip, you'll see something very similar, a creepy moment that feels way too real. So watch closely, and afterward, feel free to share your own unsettling story in the comments. Especially if you've ever experienced something weird while driving alone at night. Who knows, someone else might have seen the same thing. Back in early March of 2023, a little-known YouTube channel that usually shares everyday content uploaded a short 2-minute video. At first, it looked like just a regular travel vlog. The clip opened with someone driving through a tight curve on a quiet road, nothing out of the ordinary. But then things took a turn. What started as a casual night drive quickly became eerie, thanks to something unexpected that showed up in the footage. As they reviewed the recording later, an unsettling shadow became visible, motionless and completely silent. It didn't move. It didn't blink. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the video cuts to black. Viewers were left with a flood of questions. What exactly was that shadow? Why was it so still? No one's ever been able to figure out if it was a person, a ghost, or something else entirely. And the scariest part, no one knows if the person who filmed it ever made it out okay. Even now, years later, people still watch and talk about the clip. Whatever that thing was, it remains one of the most mysterious moments caught on camera. A young guy named Danny shared the next video you're about to see back in February of this year. Danny says he started noticing strange things happening along the coast in Lima, Peru. So one night around midnight, he decided to go live while walking the shoreline, hoping to maybe catch something on camera. It's just past 12 a.m. when he runs into a stray dog. But then, things get weird.
¿Qué hace? Ven, ven, te vas a caer. Mano, esto no es un perro, mano. Este es un aviso de algo, huevón. Poco, huevón, ¿ah? Mano, esto está bien sospechoso, huevón. Este huevón está bien sospechoso. Voy a seguir avanzando, ¿ok? No voy a correr, hermano. Espera, todavía no voy a correr. Todavía no voy a... Eran choros, hermano. Ya sé, hermano, ya sé, pero por eso te digo. ¿Es el perro? El perro se convirtió en humano. ¿Qué hablan, mano? Oh, mano, los filmes, ¿saben qué? Está muy extraño todo, mano.
Person dressed in black starts following behind him. Eventually, though, they vanish from the frame. Danny figured it might have been someone trying to rob him, until they noticed he was live streaming and backed off. But the next person he runs into is way harder to explain. He sees a man in a hat standing nearby, but as Danny walks past,
Escúchame. Mano, este pata está arriba, huevón. Mano, escúchame. Mano, mira cómo traspasa su cuerpo. ¿Vieron?
the man's body seems transparent, like you can almost see through him. Then, just like that, the figure fades into nothing. This was all recorded live, so faking it would have been pretty difficult. Naturally, the chat freaked out. Some viewers think Danny may have captured a paranormal entity known in Peruvian folklore as a parasailing, a kind of vampire-like spirit. And if that's what it really was, then Danny is seriously lucky to have gotten away unharmed. But the big question remains, who was that figure, and where did it go?